Hi, it's Wendy Rye. I'm back with another video, and it's poetry time with an explanation at the end of the video, so stick around to get the full meaning of the poem and the experience that inspired me to write this particular poem. So let's begin. The poem is called End and Beginning. End and Beginning. So I want an end that I can start over with, to deploy a physicality of an old beginning that will compare to the strife of a new me. And he is not in it. Like two sullen figures we trailed to our end, watching darkness and seeing our reflections. I swayed towards the end of us, and we slept in the waking of us, ignoring the delicate collection of tears and fears born from our union, and it was killing us. Two silent owners trod harshly to nowhere, sleeping inside the seconds where everything was bliss, when we left all the herd unsafe and suspended, veiling its face with beautiful silent darkness, rotating and whirring so fast you think it was still. Its whirring noise harmed us to sleep. Then it came crashing down on us. On us it crashes each time we nod and agree, and I go running for safety to the end. Each time I get there, the end presents another beginning of us. Each time I get there, I am holding on to you. Each time I wish I never get what I want. That was very short. Okay, it was very short. But end and beginning, again, I feel like most of my poems are just gonna take me back to my previous relationship. But no one attacked me. This is my work of art, and that was a period when I wrote most of my poems, because that was a period when I was feeling too much. That was the period where I was going through a roller coaster of emotions, so most of my poems are gonna be inspired by that period that I was dating my ex. So end and beginning, I wrote it when we when we were on and off, because we kind of broke up like 7 times. We would break up and then get back together, break up and then get back together. So let me start. I want an end that I can start over with. So because the end that I used to get to, like when we break up, I would end up, we would end up getting back together, and that's not starting over because I end up going back to him, or yeah, we end up getting back together. So I want an end that I can start over with, means an end that is just for me, because if it's just me, I'm starting over. If it's me and him, this is me going back to something that was there before. So to deploy a physicality of an old beginning that will compare to the strife of a new me. Now the new me that I wanted to be deployed was a new me that was without him. I don't know if I'm making sense. A new me that was without him. A new me that I would have loved to see or experience was a me that was without him, and he is not in it. Yeah, I'm explaining it here. And then I go to the next paragraph. I explain the next prose. I explain our experience as to why it's explaining. The second paragraph is explaining the first one. So like two silent figures, we trailed to our end, watching darkness and seeing our reflections, because honestly, as much as we would get back together, it doesn't mean like it was amazing. It was dark, it was chaotic. I swayed towards the end of us, we slept in the waking of us, because every single time I would walk towards the end of us, because every single time I'm the one who would initiate the break or the breakup. So every single time I swayed towards the end of us, would then sleep in the waking of us. Like, it's like a resurrection of us again. Me going to kill this relationship, and then I just wake up in the same relationship. ignoring the delicate collection of tears and fears. So this is means like despite all the tears, ignoring the collection of tears and fears, because I was always crying. And you know the fears that come with you being heartbroken every single time, the fear of men, fear of relationships, fear of love, and all that kind of stuff. So this is like I know all of that is happening, and I know I'm constantly crying and hurting, but I don't know, somehow I just wake up and find me with him again. You get? It's a choice. I'm not saying like, it's not a choice. I'll just wake up and somehow someone made the choice for me and I'll find myself. That's not what I'm saying. It was a choice. I was drawn. Okay? Born from our union. Ignoring the delicate collection of tears and fears born from our union. Like the tears and the fears that were born from that relationship, our union, that relationship, because it was just all about heart, pain, and tears, and creating new fears and trauma. And it was killing us. Not just me, it was also killing him as much as he was the one who brought all of that. Two silent owners trod harshly to nowhere. Honestly, I feel like we were just walking towards nowhere. We were just going in a circle. Sleeping inside the seconds where everything was bliss. When we left all the hurt unsaid, suspended. So, sleeping inside the seconds where everything was bliss. This is what we were trying to capture when we get back together. The seconds where everything is just amazing, because as much as it was, as much as it was a traumatic experience, as much as I was hurt, there was just pain and hurt, there were moments, happy moments between the two of us. So that's what we tried to get back to, those seconds when everything was bliss, when we left all the hurt unsaid, suspended. So I was referring more to me, because all the hurt that I had, all the pain that I had, I couldn't say it anymore. I couldn't word it. I couldn't give it words anymore, because he would never listen. Because he would say, "I'm bringing back old experiences." If I confront him about maybe a cheating scandal of him, that maybe a person I forgave him and we just kept going, but then I start bringing up other things or some other actions that he did that hurt me, and he say, that's the past, don't bring up stuff like that, and we'll move on. And it's hard to move on, even though I'm trying to forgive him and so that we can move on together. As much as if people would literally tell you, you forgave him, so you move on, you're the one who chose to forgive him, and I would kind of support that, but like only to a limit, because at some point it's not like you expect to heal. You'll forgive, but then you won't really heal from that, and seeing him every single time is a constant reminder of what he did. When he says "I love you," it's a constant reminder of him saying those words to someone else, so you don't kind of believe that, and you want to get out of this, but then your heart's kind of stuck there. That was some really weird soul tie. Honestly, I think it was spiritual. So, when we left all the heart unsaid, suspended, because it was always just right there hovering on top of me. I want to say something, but I can't. Veiling its face with beautiful silent darkness. So I'll just veil it with some. It's not like, even though I tried to veil it and cover it, it's never with light. It was always in darkness, because I was always in darkness. Every moment I was in that relationship, I was always in darkness. Always hurting, always in pain. So the only thing that could veil it was still darkness, and beautiful silent darkness. Just let's chill in silence, because when we start talking, we either end up arguing, we end up bringing up things that shouldn't be brought up, or should be brought up but you think that they shouldn't be brought up, or we end up choosing to have a break, and we don't want that, so let's just bask in silence. Rotating, wandering so fast you think it was still. Its whirring noise harmed us to sleep. What I mean here, you've ever seen, like, let's say a fan or something that kind of rotates. When it rotates so fast that you can't even see. Okay, it has like separated bits of it, but when it just rotates so fast, you don't even see the pieces, the bits of it. You think it's still, like it's rotating so fast that you think it's still, it's not even moving. That's how fast it's moving. So this was all the hurt, all the pain. It was wiring so fast, you think it was so still. So the pain was hurting so much that I couldn't even say it, that you think that it's not even there. The way I was silent about the pain, the way I was so silent about the hurt that I was going through, you think it's not even there, you think it doesn't exist. You get, its whirring noise harmed us to sleep. So when it kind of rotates, it makes some kind of a humming noise, the whirring noise. It just depends on what it's rotating though, but there's a kind of noise that it gives out, and the noise harmed us to sleep. It harmed us to stay still. So that means me being silent about the pain, that's what kept us in peace, at peace, yeah, not in peace, at peace. I don't know if you get that. Then it came crashing down. It walked so fast that it could with the walls that were holding it. Honestly, I used the weirdest metaphors though. And then it just came crashing down. The way it was moving so fast, it couldn't be kept still anymore. It comes crashing down on us every single time. So then it came crashing down. On us, it crashes each time we nod and agree. So each time we nod and agree is the time that I'm silent about my pain and my heart. So every single time we nod and agree, remember the thing, rotating. So each time on us it crashes each time. So every single time we get back together, and I promise and swear to remain silent about my pain, about what happened, because it is a choice I've made to get back with him. It was a choice. There are underlying issues that can make someone do that. It's not like, I would say it's a choice, but sometimes it's kind of hard to leave. And when you leave, when every single time I left, I would break down so bad that I would think the kind of breaking down that I'm getting from breaking up with him is worse is worse than the kind of breaking down that I'm getting when I'm with him. So I'd prefer the breakdowns that I would constantly get from being with him to the breakdowns I would get because of breaking up with him. Am I making sense? Like, when I'm with him, yeah, I'm constantly hurting. But when I'm not with him, I'm even hurting more. I'm hurting more. So I'd prefer that pain to this pain. Okay. It was hard. And I go on as it crashes each time we nod and agree. And I go running for safety to the end. I go running for safety to the end. So when it comes crashing on us again, that's when I start running to the end of us. That's when I start talking about, no, we need to break up, we need a break or something. A breakup or a break. It was either a breakup or a break. So on as it crashes each time we nod and agree, and I go running for safety to the end. To the end is the end of our relationship. That's where all the safety was. But each time I get there, the end presents another beginning of us. Every single time I get to the end, it presents another beginning of us. I would get there, manage to break up with him, manage to ask for a break, and it was hard to even ask for that. I would get there, and somehow it doesn't last long. We end up getting back together. So that's why I'm saying the end presents another beginning of us. It comes with some kind of a solution to the thing that made me run to the end, and a presentation of the beginning of us appears. Each time I get there, I am holding on to you. Now, even when I'm running to the end of us, I'm still pulling him with him, kind of. Because even when I'm trying to break up with him, sometimes even when I would try to break up with him, I would just eventually end up saying it's just a break. That is me holding on to him, because I don't want it to be a breakup. Honestly, I just wanted a break where I'd go and heal from all this trauma, and he would heal from all this trauma and fix himself and get his priorities right. and then we'd get back together. And sometimes I would really hope that my absence would make him like see what he's lost and try to change his ways. But well, it was a circle, like I say, it was a circle. Each time I wish, I never get what I want. And my wish was to be free from all this hurt, from all this pain, to be free from him. But well, eventually I did, but it wasn't a wish because eventually I included God in it. At the end of it all, I did not just make a wish, I included God in it. I talked to God. How do I put this? I talked to the Holy Spirit. I included the Holy Spirit in this day. It was a very immense, very intense soul tie. And well, yeah, eventually I included God in it. And yeah, so that's the meaning of the end and beginning. It was a really short poem, not like really short because I have even shorter ones, but the short ones, the very short ones, they're going to be for TikTok. So if you haven't followed me on TikTok, my username is Wendy Rye. Literally just the same as my YouTube username, Wendy Rye. So go on TikTok, follow me. So just down there on a line that caught you or line that you relate to, because I'm writing the captions, not the captions, yeah, the captions kind of here. So just tell me a line that you kind of relate to, because I'm pretty sure, I'm 100% sure it's not a unique experience. Like I said, people have gone through this. So tell me a line that you kind of relate to in the comments down below. And yeah, thank you so much. Also, me reading these poems has taken me back to a point where I want to write more, because I haven't been writing for like a while. That's why I've been reading poems from like a while ago. But if you have a topic that you want me to write on, I'll gladly do it, even though it's just like a very weird topic, or a topic about youths are trying to get jobs but they can't, stuff like that. I'm used to just writing about love and heartbreak, honestly, and yeah, but those are usually the best. So yeah, thank you so much for your time. Bye bye, love you.